I could be bad cop. Still fits with the B.
I feel like it's your name, right? So you kind of have to take that role. I'm pretty sure.
All right, I could do bad cop. I'm always down.
I'm also more of a good cop, I think, if I'm being honest. All right, we've already got a fight here. Someone in trouble.
Oh man, Techie's going down. What? I gotta be bad cop. What are you doing? Come on, giving up first blood. Everybody's there. The positioning. It's just the positioning.
Yeah, they were. This does happen just sometimes, right? Like, both teams are moving around a little bit. I'm not going to say randomly, but before the game starts, sometimes you just get caught off guard, and Techie was in the wrong place at the wrong time here. So Bloody 9 will be first blooded, and the primary kill bounty going to Jakiro. So the position 5 of 4 Zoomers. As far as these lineups go, 4 Zoomers with a pretty push-heavy lineup, and I would say DogChamp with more of a, I don't know, mid-game team fight-ish strategy. They said in the interview that they've been losing to 4 Zoomers pretty consistently, just getting rolled. And maybe there's a little bit of a worry here that with 4 Zoomers playing a high-tempo strategy, that could very well happen again.
Yeah, the high tempo can just sometimes really throw everything you think you're going to do in a whack. It's, at least in my eyes, kind of similar to a UFC fight. You have a game plan until you get punched. And then all of a sudden, with this Zoomers lineup, when you're moving fast, you've got a game plan, and then that first tower goes down, or you give up that first death, and then you got to figure out how do we compensate for the speed that could come out from Zoomer's lineup. I'm interested to see Gunnar on this mid Coddle, because in China, Coddle mid got dumpstered the 2 times it got played, and it never could be as good as it was supposed to be. So I'm interested to see if Gunnar can really take care of business here against iAnnihilate.
Have you watched some of the successful mid-Coddle games from Europe for comparison? Like, do you think the Chinese teams played better against it, or played worse with it, or both, or...?
I think the Chinese teams, when they were playing it, it felt like a I saw this, I can pull it off kind of thing. Because I think it was like Magma who tried it, who is more of an experimental team at times, where they can throw some weird things out every now and then. But it was just too small of a sample size in China to really grasp. It wasn't like Ori playing it or something like that. It just, I don't know. I'd like to see maybe Somnus give it a shot.
Yeah, it doesn't really feel like the type of hero for him as a player necessarily, but you never know. Like, if it's good enough, the player's obviously going to play it. I will say a redeeming factor for mid-Coddle in this game, at least, is it might be one of the only heroes that can draw or even beat Lina in lane, actually, because you have longer range, more damage, and you can farm the wave faster than Lina can, so you can get more access to the mid and small camps than she can, and you can even steal hers as well if you have the timing. So I don't think, out of every game I've seen 9 from Tundra play mid-Coddle, I don't think he's ever lost his lane. He's always come out significantly ahead. So we'll see if Gunnar can play it to the same extent here. For now, obviously, it's fine for iAnnihilate in the beginning. Lina will do fine, but you can definitely be overtaken. So this was not a kill I was expecting. The Jugger being killed by Centaur Hoodwink in lane. Just no backup from Techies at that point.
It doesn't exactly feel like Techies is really that back you up kind of guy.
Depends.
I don't know if that's just my pub speaking, where
he'll
I'm
back
just
you
like,
up
I never expect
offensively.
Techie to be there. Yeah, he'll steal your kills, he'll grab your gold, and then when you really need him in this top lane against a Centaur and a Hoodwink, well, he's not showing up. Oh, spear landing bottom. And Kustabila, because it's usually Gunnar on the lone druid, and I was looking, it was like Mask of Madness, Deso for the bear. Ooh, good deny. Keeping the gold out of the hands of DogChamp.
It might not seem like the biggest deal, but the bear is almost worth the same as a hero kill, so that's effectively the same as denying a hero almost. Kustabila there, very good. Has a bit of cooldown on the bear for a minute and a half now, so has to rely on last hitting with his hero, but fortunately for him, the lane support in Jakiro will do a pretty good job at just peeling for him and making space so he can get at least a decent amount of CS. Just quickly back to mid lane, worth noting, SVG was saying at half in jest, well, if you want to counter mid-Coddle, just block all his camps, and, well, DogChamp have blocked none of them. So even if they did block the small camp, he opened it with his own sentry, so you're going to see Coddle here. He is starting to slowly pull ahead of the Lina now. They have about the same number of CS, but Coddle's net worth being that 100 higher. Now going to farm the middle camp here with the troll stack. A nice camp for Coddle. He just gets the bonus of the small skeletons because he's farming them anyway. He's going to head straight back to mid.
Stone bank up here. Still kind of feeling a little bit uncomfortable in this lane. Again, I just feel like that comes from the fact that you do have a Techies as your support, but this is a different Techies. It's a different time in the Techies world. Meanwhile, bottom Husky speared back towards the tower. Yaren's going to go down to Husky, and Husky trying to keep himself alive. Luki now the one turning around. He played aggressive on the Jakiro, and that might have been a mistake. Another liquid fire from Husky, but only a level 1 liquid fire, so not going to die, but still taking a lot of damage down here with 0 regen available to him.
Costabile might want to invest some more time into training his bear. That was an absolute despicable display of lack of roots on that Mars kill, which didn't turn into a kill as a result. Oh, might be a kill for Stonebank. Well, it goes to Bloody Nines. You're right. Techies. Well,
he's only there to steal the kills on the goal.
Assist, as you will. But good start for Zoomers, right? 1k gold lead. We're 5 minutes in. It's not monumental, but doing very, very well in all 3 of their lanes. The Jugger in particular is really suffering compared to what I thought he should from a matchup perspective, but Moo doubling him in CS in this lane.
Yeah, it's felt a couple times that he's just been consistently pressured out of just trying to sit there in CS. Right now, he has a little bit of an availability because Z-Freak's just getting back to lane, but Stonebank, it's tough. This combo can be deadly. It kind of reminds me of the Rubik Centaur combo, where you just lift, hoof stomp, double edge, and you would just make people, any melee hero, feel pretty uncomfortable in lane, especially you got the Ring of Health, so he's going to feel very tanky too on the Centaur, almost impossible to kill.
And I guess he has the luxury in this lane of bypassing Retaliate entirely, right? When you're playing against Jugger Techies, it's not really an important skill point, so he's going full for burst with a 3-2-0 build. Pretty uncommon for Centaurs to do this, but with the Hoodwink lane and the matchup they have, it makes a lot of sense. They want to get value when they do land a stun, and this is the best way to do it. Any sort of Hoodwink stun will lead to massive damage. I annihilate 3 HP! Gunnar should be able to catch up. He's so fast with the travels.
And he will get that last hit. So I Annihilate going down. Like you said, Gunnar's starting to pull away. Pretty similar in CS, but when you get a kill like that, that's going to make you feel pretty good. And they're going to put the pressure on the mid-tier 1. They're looking over now at this Jakiro once again. But Costabile has his eyes focused on Yaren. Husky goes down. Yaren traded. Luki. Hopefully Costabile can get a root. Hopefully he's trained his bear up to this point. And they're going to continue to try and just right-click this Mars all the way back and potentially to death to make him go back to base without option. And that's exactly what he'll do. He'll get that root, he'll get that kill, and it's a double for him.
Costabile has a very heavy laning build as well. Double Wraithband on his hero, which I would say is rather unusual, but maybe you do this on carry lane more so than on mid. The bear running an Orb of Venom plus boots. So yeah, he has a lot of damage coming out from himself against this Mars, and even with the skill point and bulwark, it's just not enough. Eventually you have to turn your back so you can actually escape. This lane is very, very long when you're fighting all the way down there. Stonebank again.
Oh,
getting killed in this
second time.
Oh, Luki just returned. No.
Oh boy. Oh, that's stressful. That's now the long walk. You TP'd here the first time. You're not going to TP in here the second time, and it looks like they might have caught themselves Bloody 9. He'll try to run away and get himself some space, but Z-Freak on him just needs, I think, 2 more right clicks, but won't be able to make it until Techies is under the tower. This is going really well for 4 Zoomers.
Dog barking? Is that some sort of a... I can't tell if this is what's actually happening or if that is some sort of meta reason for pausing against this team, but... yeah, huge advantage going the way of 4 Zoomers already. 3k up, 7 minutes in. They're playing a pushing type mid-game lineup. I gotta tell you, I'm worried for DogChamp already. I think this stage of the game, they needed to break even to get toward a mid-game that was competitive. At this point, you gotta really start finding some picks or finding some key farm, key items so that you can stem the bleeding. Because this tempo from the Radiant is not gonna slow down with these heroes. Coddle level 9, minute 7:30 in that mid lane.
He's a quarter of the way to level 10. This Lena's backed up into the jungle. I Annihilate down about a full level, which is super unfortunate for him. Moo getting hit with the Omni Slash. But he's got the Hoof Stomp, and, well, enjoy your cooldown, Stonebank.
Yeah, and Moo might not even have to go back to base. He has a lot of regen. He's running the Hood plus double Bracer, so just passive regeneration right now, 17.6 a second at the tower. So you do the math on how much he gets per minute. It's quite a lot. It's about 1,000 health in a minute, and he'll be full again.
And he's got the creep wave coming in, so he still doesn't have to move. He can continue to just keep it easy down up into the top lane, and now they will go over at this Mars once more. Luki on the run, rooted up, killed off. Husky gets credit for that kill. And it's just 4 Zoomers putting that ultimate pressure on, and C-Freak even survives. Oh, I annihilate. This team can't get the last bit of damage. Yep. Just a little bit more.
They've been like 5
Meanwhile,
to 10% short. Yeah, Yarn's not getting out of this one. Like,
he'll try. He'll juke in the trees. He'll hope to make. Do a breath in.
He's fine.
Put a hope there with the disruption. But eventually, Husky again with the dual breath is what takes that final tick. Always getting the kills.
I really like this so far from Gunnar this game. I think he's done a really good job finding the farm in mid, making the move to kill the Mars bottom, I think twice now. Now he's going top to finish off this tower together with Moo, just staying super active with this Boots of Travel build that he's running. Gonna transition into Orchid, which is pretty common for snowballing mid-coddles. You have so insanely much damage when you solar bind someone and you do the Illuminate combo with an Orchid that you can actually start solo killing cores. And obviously supports like Shadow Demon and Techies just fall over.
Melt.
Yeah, they just fall over. This amount of damage. I annihilate. If there's a root here, he's in trouble.
Root may not even be needed as they've got the ice path. They have the damage. Oh, Costa Relay gets the root. All right. When in doubt, just get a root. It all works out as Bloody9 now taken out by Gunnar. He was hit by that solar bind. The Illuminate comes in. Gunnar taking easy work of this Techies. And the last series, we saw Brame's Tier 1 towers all gone in 8.5 minutes. 4 Zoomers have almost kept the same pace as OG.
Nice blinding light there from Gunnar. Believe he interrupted the blast off. Well done.
He's been on point and top of the net worth for all his troubles. And I say troubles, but it's really the opposite of troubles. It's been just that easy for him. They're going to try and go in with a blast off, the Laguna Blade, and the mine's coming through. So the proximity mine of Bloody9 will blow up this lone druid.
Yeah, that's finally something.
A big kill.
Finally something for DogChamp, right? It feels like it's been, I don't know. I was going to say 10 minutes, but that's the entire game since their last successful move. Yeah, they're going to need a lot more like this. And I think actually Techies right now is the hero to play around, or rather Techies needs to play around kills. So he needs to play around the Mars, needs to play around the Lina so that they can find this damage, because Jugger is not going to join a lot right now. He really needs time. So yeah, probably pairing up Techies Mars or Techies Lina and looking for skirmishes might be the way to go. Or you can hope that Moo kills himself in the jungle. That would also be a kill, but doesn't seem to be the case. So.
He still has that high HP regen. He's fine, never in doubt. Only in pubs would he ever fall to something like that. But it just 4 Zoomers, man. What do you do if you said it all has to stem around Techies, but how long do you have to do that? Like, how much time does Stonebank need?
He needs a lot of time. It is very difficult to play with a lineup like this when you're playing against such high tempo and lose all your towers, but it's just the best play that I see on the map. Like I think if you're playing defensively and trying to counter gank, you're opening up yourself to be exploited way too much, especially with Centaur now picking up Blink Dagger. I just think it's too easy for Radiant to push out all the lanes with their Coddle, with Travels, with their Hoodwink, with their Jakiro support duo. Looking for Costabile, this does not seem likely to be successful.
Yeah, they're trying to go for that, while over mid, they've got the Solar Bind as well as the Illuminate with the Orchid for Gunnar to get that kill on a Stonebank. Now they've got the root out onto the Mars, and Luki trying to run and throw down the arena. That'll stop nothing, because the damage still comes in as he's kind of in the wall, but out of the wall. They kill off Luki. They've got themselves a second. They'll finish off Yarn, and that is 3 heroes down on the side of DogChamp. 1, 2, 3. Put him up, put him down, and I mean, that looked super fluid from 4 Zoomers.
Yeah, they don't have the damage to
kill
this Bloodthird in ulti form. Yep.
Illuminate and Bushwhack. Now they've got the Orchid coming through the Solar Bind. They'll look for the Sharpshooter. They won't land it, but Gunnar avoiding the stun, and he's got Illuminate in just a second. Annihilate's not getting anywhere. And Gunnar all around the map just finding kills. The kills don't stop. The hits don't stop coming either. They've got themselves Macro Pyre as well as the Ice Path down. This Techie's trying to survive. Moo is very tanky, so he is not really fearing for his life up against Bloody and 9, but maybe with Yarn as well as Uki, they can get something done to get the kill here onto the Centaur. They've also got the Blade Fury coming out from Stonebank. 4 stacks of the Shadow Poison, make it a 5th. They've got the kill onto Moo, but Uki's going to give up his life for this one. And now they've got the Solar Bind out onto this Jug. They'll land the Ice Path, the Illuminate comes in again. It's the Omni Slash, but it's to prevent the inevitable, which is a death to Gunner via the Illuminate. And now Yaren, he's on the run, he's hit with a Solar Bind too. So getting up to the high ground seems impossible. They've got the Bushwhack, another Illuminate from Gunner, and everybody is falling on the side of DogChamp to the point where 4 Zoomers, I mean, they feel invincible.
I wonder what it is about the dynamic between these two teams. Obviously, this is just game number 1, right? But DogChamp, I think this is the hardest laning stage they've had all tournament in many ways, or hardest early game at least. Maybe they just don't match up very well against what 4 Zoomers bring to the table, because 4 Zoomers' track record this tour, they've had some good individual games, but I don't think they've looked this dominant in the laning stage. And well, that's another kill, easy peasy. Make quick work of him.
The Techie's not really finding much survivability, but like you said, with the Orchid, the Solar Bind, which is getting more levels into it, it feels like anybody is pretty much glass.
Yeah, one of the luxuries that Caudle has as a core is that he, I mean, I don't know, it depends how you want to look at it, but he doesn't, oh, hang on. Oh, that's a dead Mars. No need to beat about the bush with that.
Uki dead on his screen and dead in the game now. The look for Yaren, who is trying to use the Shadow Amulet to survive, but yet 4 Zoomers are ready for this one, and they've got themselves another kill. The kills come in pairs. When it rains, it is pouring all over the heads of DogChamp. And the pressure just keeps coming too. They're pushing the top tier 2. They might even just move over to the mid tier 2 as well.
Yeah, I think at this point you just keep going. Like, you actually don't need to reset at any point. You can just keep the pressure up, tower to tower to tower. You could think about Roche as well. Your lineup isn't the best at that, so maybe you just keep maintaining map control. What I was going to say about Caudle, like you pointed out, he's leveling up Solar Bind. He's actually level 4 now, and the reason he can do that is that Caudle doesn't need to take level 10 talent at all. I think now in level 15, he's probably going to take a level, you know, a second row talent instead of getting level 10 talent, I would imagine.
Right.
This is probably a game, I think in this game, 2 Solar Bind charges is really good when you're snowballing this hard. But also the Chakra Magic talent is also amazing. They're both really, really good, whereas the level 10 talents are much less important. They will Roche though. They're faster than I thought at this, actually.
Pretty solid speed. Deso on the bear.
That'll help.
Or of a corrosion. They've got all the tools to take this first Roche and get themselves an Aegis. Meanwhile, Z-Freak goes down to Annihilate using that Laguna Blade with the help of Yarn there to at least get themselves moving up on the board a little bit, but there's the Solar Bind on Uki. He's left by himself. The Illuminate is there, and the damage is more than enough. You said it earlier, and it continues to be true. Everybody on the map can die once he picked up this Orchid, and especially now that Solar Bind is level 4.
Yeah, that magic resist reduction, 34% magic resist reduction. You add the Orchid amp on top of that as well. I don't know the math behind this, like exactly how much damage an Illuminate does, but factoring in those two things, it's got to be closing in on like 800 or something, just the Illuminate itself, and that's disregarding all the other stuff he does, blinding light damage, attacks, secondary Illuminate if he chakras himself. It's pretty nasty. Z-Freak might end up... Oh my god, everything.
Oh,
that is...
sidesteps everything. That's got to feel bad, right? Hey, just... You wanted one thing. You wanted to get Z-Freak again. It doesn't feel like the pathway for DogChamp even exists anymore. It's 4 Zoomers have not stepped off the gas.
Gunner might overextend it. He's went BKB on this Caudle, already complete. I think this is rather uncommon. I don't know if I've seen this, the secondary item after Orchid before. It's a good way to protect himself from the Lina Mars and the Techies, I suppose, but a lot of the time you would see Caudles in this spot go like Orchid or get some stat item, Hex, E-Blade, which he is queuing up now, so that's fine. It's a very good E-Blade game against Jug as well. It's like added benefit of the defensive usage. Mid tower will be next for Zoomers.
They can just go right up to it. There's no reason that DogChamp should defend this. I feel like it just throws their game out even further if they try to defend it and lose 3 or 4. They're going to go for Luki again. He just can't find a spot to farm or do anything. And the immediate damage from Gunnar.
Oh, they saw Stonebank too. He has TP.
Oh,
he's going to have to spin TP here.
And gets the spin TP. Free to leave. And they're going to TP towards top. They might want to stop by Annihilate. He's here with Yaren. They've got the Ice Path over mid to where Stonebank just came over to. Zoomers just overwhelming the entirety of the map.
DogChamp get their first tower minute 19 in the top lane, and it's that one, which is kind of surprising, but
that's good timing, right?
Yeah, that's
good cop.
It's a good time to take that particular tower sometimes, but I feel like in this game it might not be what they were hoping for. Jugger, nice combination.
Yeah. Disruption to get the save. They've got themselves the spear out with the arena that comes through from Wookie. They get the kill on the Husky. They'll take out the Jakiro. Omni slash bouncing, but Bloody9 is gone. The right click's coming in from the bear. They're going to stick with it. They'll go for Stonebank. They've got the stun. They'll buy back on the techies. Bloody9 now looking to make an appearance in this fight, but Wookie going down, and Bloody9, he already bought back, but there's really not much he can do in terms of stopping all this aggression. Really, it's for Zoomer's choice to just back off.
Yep, Gunnar's gonna TP top push this out, just keep the farm going. Level 20 is a pretty meaningful power spike for Caudal Core as well. You get the, I'm assuming he will take the Spirit Form talent this game. The Dispel isn't really important, and that right talent will assure rather that you have ulti basically all the time. I think there's like a 5-second downtime or something like that once that talent is picked up. 10 seconds, I believe it is, and then if you get any sort of CDR items, whether it be Octarine, Quickening Charm, whatever you can get your hands on, it'll be more or less permanent. And that's really good for their lineup, because what their lineup wants to do is just ball up, use Illuminate to push, find kills, just keep it flowing. So if not before, I think perhaps that level 20 timing might be when they look to siege high ground, as their Aegis is about to expire. So maybe not just yet.
Yeah, so that might end up lining up, right? Next Roche with the 20, get all the tools you need, you'll pick up a free shard. And I guess if you're DogChamp, are you kind of expecting that? Are you now trying to play around that specific timing? And, well, you can try, but, well, and they get a kill on a Stonebank again, and your Jug is sitting 5th on the net worth. Maybe you don't really exactly have a choice. They'll go for Costa Bile over bottom with the arena. And he finally landed the spear. He's trying to survive. The Laguna Blade even thrown over, but here comes the rest of the team. Costa Bile is going to survive this, killing off Annihilate. Now they'll go after Bloody9. He's got himself a double kill. He's also dominating Wookie next on the menu. They'll call GG. 4 Zoomers trounce DogChamp in 20.